Hey guys, welcome everybody. Thanks everyone for joining. This will be our fourth community spotlight of the Open Web Foundry. So this is actually the end of week 4. On Monday, we'll be starting week 5. And then the subsequent week will be actually the last week of programming for the Foundry. And then we'll have a week free and then demo day, which is like the culmination of the current cohort, where we're going to select 8 to 12 projects to present what they're working on to the investors, the core team, the Arweave community. So we're very excited for that, and we're getting ready for that now. But today we have 4 projects, and they're going to be presented to you what they're building in this current cohort. And you may be seeing some of them in the demo day. So I hope you guys enjoy it. We have 4 very strong projects. The first one that we'll be introducing is Smart Label. And Smart Label is a one-stop shop where you can distribute your music, create smart NFTs, and real music contracts. Hey, Jonathan.
Yeah, hi. Yes, thanks. I will try to share my screen. I think everybody can see it.
Yep.
Okay, then we are good to go. I heard we only have 5 minutes, so I will directly take it off. First of all, yes, thank you very much for this opportunity to present our project, Smart Label, here at the Open Web Foundry 7, already a community spotlight. We are building a one-stop shop, music and royalties management app, and at this moment we are building this with 4 people. Myself, I'm and Melchior, Joost, and Boy. And the reason we are building this because we are solving a problem in the industry, the music industry. There is a big problem at this moment for artists to gain and to have control over their copyrighted works. The music industry is very fractionalized, very untransparent, out of balance, and you could say broken. If we look at our reports, and it's industry-wide clear that only about 10% of copyrighted generated revenue from musical works are received by the artist, and the rest all is slipping away by leakage between the industry. You have a few partners, a few big players, let me say it like this, entities that are the publishers, the record labels, the performance rights organizations, and the digital service providers, and they are all combined and addressed like the middlemen. And that, as I said earlier, almost 90% of the revenue leaks away, and that's a problem we are addressing. We are addressing this problem by building a dApp on the Arweave blockchain, of course, because Arweave is attached to the PermaWeb storage, and it is very important to store your musical work and the contracts attached to that for a long period. And with this solution, you only pay once, and you are stored for, well, almost over 200 years, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, all blockchains have transparency by design. Together with the SmartWeave protocol from Redstone, the server development kits, we are creating music NFTs to address this problem in the music industry. We are doing this by building a dApp. With this application, you can do a few main things as an artist or a creator or a copyright holder. You can create contracts. These are not only smart contracts, but also real contracts like PDFs, and you can share and sign them. You can mint music NFTs, so that are the audio tracks combined with the contracts and the metadata about that track. It's a complete royalty management system. So you can see how much money is generated based on streams and all other additional relevant royalty data. And basically, by leveraging NFTs, you can monetize your copyrighted work, you can monetize your fan base, and you can monetize basically your music. Well, to keep it a little bit short, we have divided our projects in 4 main product groups. We have streaming NFTs. You can use them not only for Web3 streaming or live streaming, like in metaverses or games, but also to stream on DSPs like Spotify and Deezer. So we also distribute to those players. We have sync NFTs. That's basically to give people the opportunity to synchronize your audio file combined with their video footage. That could be for games or commercials or films or things like that. And of course, we have remix NFTs. It's also a way of licensing your music, but only on STEM level. So people really have the opportunity to alter the arrangement of the track, and you can set your own kickbacks. Last but not least, we have promotion NFTs. So you can give holders of those NFT special perks. You see it nowadays a lot on things like OpenSea. This was our presentation. We will be over at the mingling tables later to answer all the questions you have, and you can also look at our website to check out how we are building a DApp, a one-stop shop platform to help artists and creators regain control of their copyrighted works. Thank you so much for your time to listen to my presentation. Bye.
Thank you, Jonathan. Yes, the music industry is definitely something that could be helped by Web3, and I think we're all pretty aware of like the current flaws. So thank you for telling us about your project, and yeah, looking forward to some of the conversations that will happen in the mingle session about this. Perfect. And next up, we're going to have Ben, who is presenting Memory Gardens, which is an immersive pet memorial space that's built with using Arweave.
Can everybody see my screen?
Yep, looks good.
Perfect. So we are Memory Garden. If there is one thing that comes to mind when thinking about PermaWeb, today, as human beings and as mortals, there is nothing more permanent than death. So we believe that death have a room within PermaWeb. And okay, we're going to start, or our project actually started by commemorizing pets and people who died, and we are allowing individuals to go ahead and preserve the loved ones' content, pictures, text files, everything that they have. We want to go ahead and allow preservation over centuries. So the problem that we're dealing with is dealing with grief. When someone passed away, one of the challenges that people have is how to go through the process of grieving. One of the basic topics that every consular will go ahead and say that dealing with pictures, creating a photo album, and creating that preservation of memories is a process to cement the goodbye and saying the last words to the person or pets who passed away. So by organizing and creating an album, we are enticing people to go through the grief process to deal with the grief. Physical space is always an issue. Everybody wants to have physical photo albums or stuff on the walls around the house, but physical locations and ability to go ahead and put stuff on your walls in place where you can consume daily is kind of like a challenge. The next portion of the challenge is data ownership. We all know that putting data in social media means that you're giving them the data. It's not your data at that point. And there is no guarantee that the social networks will keep that data alive for 10, 30, 50 years, 100, who knows. In addition to that, if you go to traditional cloud storage like Google Drive or Dropbox, once you're not going to pay your bill, your data is going to go away. So how can you go ahead and keep longevity on the blockchain? That's what Arweave come to play. I'm going to show a quick video on our product.
Your pet means everything to you. Her loving eyes, his soft coat, the way she greets you each day. But what happens in the years to come when your pet is no longer with you? Memory Gardens is a metaverse pet memorial that saves your photos, video, audio recordings, and letters. Each memorial space is a 3D experience to fill with loving memories that last forever. It's easy to arrange and customize. You pay once and remember forever. All too often, beloved pet photos are lost when a phone breaks, apps corrupt, or devices are lost or stolen. Memory Gardens securely stores your memories to always be available for decades. Preserve your secure pet memorial at Memory Gardens. Honor tribute for the pets we love.
right.
Your pet
My bad. Come on, next slide.
Your pet
Sorry, guys.
means everything to you. Her loving eyes,
What
his
happened
soft
here?
coat, the way she
The
greets
demo
you.
gods, sometimes
Yes.
they don't want to be nice. Yeah.
Is no longer with you.
Google slide is acting up. 1 second. All right. Putting back share. Sorry about that.
Yep, all good.
All right. So our solution is what we like to call an immersive storage. It's beyond a standard Arweave, and we're actually using Arweave as part of our core solution. We would like to go ahead and create an immersive storage. That means that the memories are not stored just as flat files. We want to tell a story, and we want to be able to connect the person to the emotion when those memories are consumed. So that's why we believe that creating those 3D galleries and creating an immersive way to consume the data is critical and very important for us. So I mentioned earlier we're going to have different memorials. The memorials are 3D galleries. I'm going to show one later that you basically buy. You get an X amount of megabyte allocated to you. You can go ahead and put your content on the wall, as you saw earlier, and we're going to mint that content for you. So the on-ramp into the Arweave system with our product is very easy. The users actually logging in with an email. They don't need to have any crypto. They log into our platform, they buy the 3D gallery, they upload the content either directly from the machine, import from Google Drive, import from Facebook, whatever they need to do. And we, as a platform of Memory Garden, we are the ones who are placing the files on our drive for them. And we are the ones who's actually going to take that content and mint it as an NFT and drop it in the user wallet. So the onboarding process and coming outside of the Web3 space is very, very easy. We are targeting traditional Web2 customers as the vast user base for us. So having ease of use in our platform is the key point for us. And hopefully that video will work.
Memory Gardens under the hood. You might be wondering what is under the hood of our 3D memory-based metaverse. Your pictures, videos, and audio clips will be securely saved in a 3D storage space that you own for decades to come. Minted as NFTs, using Arweave's collectively owned storage ecosystem. Although we have more advanced ownership options for experienced Web3 users, there is no need for a crypto wallet or a background in blockchain networks to get started. In fact, logging in is passwordless, using just your email. Paying is also simple. Just pay once using a card or crypto. Honor the pets you love with a special space that lets you experience your memories with them and own the content of your most precious memories.
All right.
Memory Gardens
Why
under
is it doing that? So this is an example of a 3D gallery that we have, as you saw in the video. It's one example of one type of an asset that we're going to release. We're going to have a rotating asset libraries of different experiences, and each one of them is going to be minted in a limited series, and we're going to keep rotating them on a weekly basis. We're going to have different style, different accents. We have some Asian flares, we have Westerns, we have modern, we have more finished design. So every person can go ahead and buy the gallery that tells the story for their life or for their pets or whatever that will be. This is an example of one of our biggest rooms that we did so far. This room, for example, holds 250 units of content, and we're going to allow the user to store up to 2 GB when they're buying that solution. And this is a demo of the product and how it looks in real life today. This is one of the smallest galleries that we offer right now. This is actually my dog that you see here in the picture. He passed away last year. And now this is right now sits on Arweave with all the NFTs that have been minted on the Polygon network. And that will stay that way for a very, very long time. So I know that that memory is safe and will always be available and accessible for me. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Ben. Very good job. Yeah, I think this is a DApp or a platform that can't really be used without Arweave. So I think it's like a really good use case. So thank you very much for that. And next up, we're going to have Edu3, the team who is going to be presenting an education platform where they're using NFTs to provide certificates to students who are completing particular courses. So solving that accreditation problem that's kind of being monopolized by universities. And Maddie, if you want to, you can actually take my mic stand right here if you just want to come here. Okay. Okay, and yep, you guys can share your screen and begin. And perfect, we see it.
Okay, do you see my screen?
Yep, and then just go into presentation mode.
Okay, just a second. Okay, hello guys. So thanks again for giving us this opportunity to present it. So let me talk about our project. So it is an educational platform where we have a concept of learn to earn, and we want to bring the decentralization to the educational sector. So basically, the main aim is to create some motivational mechanics and rewarding system for the users while you're learning. So those users will be rewarded by different rewards and badges and basically NFT objects which we are going to mint them. And yeah, before going to the details, let me just show just quick demonstration of our project. So as you can see, so here is our platform that we created as a first step. As a first stage, we have created just some gamification part. And as you can see, we have two types of the currencies. Yeah, the first one is the not currency, but the experience point. And the second one is the coins itself. They will call it Alpha Education coins. So then you can earn those currencies by completing different tasks and completing the quizzes and etc. So yeah, and also you can earn different badges which have different weights. And after collecting this, also you may collect it in another way, like completing some weekly challenges. And you have different leaderboard where you can see all your mates, yeah, who are also completing those challenges. And after collecting everything, yeah, you may go to the basic store, and on the store you can actually change your earned coins to some real objects, yeah, and later on we'll have some tokens, yeah. Okay, so bringing back to the slides. So basically the main idea is to create something that maybe you have heard about the sweat coin, yeah, or a steppen, where you are earning by running or walking. Yeah, and also we have an analogy on the market which is called the Let Me Speak. Yeah, so where you are learning different languages and buying avatars and minting different avatars, NFTs, and actually you can earn by learning. Okay, so just some numbers about our platform. So we have more than 4,000 users, and we have actually tested this demonstrated gamification part for the local educational organizations like the universities, some non-profit one, and private educational organizations. Also, we have some interest from the side of other companies from the Singapore who are willing to use our product. And so what is our progress so far? So basically we want to use the Arweave as a data storage here, and as the first phase we are under the process of deploying our system to the Arweave. Yeah, of course we had some difficulties at the beginning because our system is built in monolithic way, and it was a little bit hard to split the front end part from the back end, and that's why we started splitting and deploying into the Arweave by screen interface by interface. And as the first phase, we are moving the landing page, then the internal interfaces. So as the second stage, we are going to use the Solana MetaMask to mint different NFTs, and to create the smart contracts. So basically, yeah, that's it about our project. Yeah, and if you have any questions, I'll be very happy to answer for them.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I think we'll do questions in the mingle session afterwards. So, yeah, thank you for that overview. And we just got one project left. So next up, we'll have Dryad that's being presented by Adam. And this is the first semantic primitive for Web3. It's a really interesting project that I think Adam can tell us a little bit more about.
Hello, everyone. Thanks very much, Jesse. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. With just 5 minutes, I didn't think it was worth putting together a PowerPoint presentation. And now I realize I was wrong. But I'm going to show you guys what I have. I'm going to spell out the basic point first, though. So when Jesse said semantic primitive, I think that's a good way of thinking about this. What I'm trying to build is a platform where people can go to find well-defined concepts that other people who have domain-specific knowledge have spelled out and explicated. And part of the reason for this is that the people are constantly reinventing the wheel when they're making documents, or when they are even just trying to learn something. You have to, in order to learn the definition of something relatively complicated, you have to spend time looking into it, and then you get the idea in your head, and then you can use it. And then if you, anyone else who wants to learn that idea, there's no place really for them to go to learn it. So I think the main, one of the main low-hanging fruit applications, though, has to do with documents and the construction of documents compositionally using kind of well-defined graphical concepts. So let me share my screen. I know that was all very high level, but hopefully this will make sense, and I'll try to describe what this is about. So here we go, doing my entire screen. Okay, so this is the rough platform as it is. This is just kind of locally on my machine. We're going to have something running on a server that is a little bit different. Right here, you can see everything that's saved into my personal database. So Arweave is going to be the storage primitive, the storage layer for this. And if you can imagine a database that is very, very, very extensive, then you can start imagining why I think that this is useful, right? So you can imagine also there's going to be two types of users for this. There's the people that are creating concepts and then creating collections of concepts. And then there are the people that are using those concepts that are already created. So this platform here that you see is for the people who are the creators of the concepts. So the people that I imagine doing this are people with specific domain knowledge, lawyers, philosophers, and logicians, right? These are the types of people that are good at breaking concepts down into their parts and then explicating what they are. The reason that people would want to do this is that there are Web3 incentives built in, right? So you can see I've connected my wallet here, and I can construct a concept, and then I can save it to the blockchain, and that is associated with my address from that point forward. Anyone who then uses that concept pays a small amount to the authors. And there can be more than one author. If I make a concept and someone else makes a concept, a third person can put those two together and maybe with some changes, and then there's 3 authors for that particular concept. All 3 of us get paid. So you know, constructing something, I could go like this, and this is just making a basic idea. Now we have two ideas. This is just graph theory. And then we can connect the ideas in a relationship. And then we can label them, you know, and so I could say, if one of these ideas is me and the other one is this, and then you can say this is the relationship between them, and I can label it like this, and now you know what's going on. And you can see down here, this automatically got populated with the parsing. And when I hover on either the node here, it highlights the word. If I hover on the word, it highlights the node. So I kind of know where I am. If I hover here, it highlights the whole thing. And that's because the word likes encompasses the entire scope. So if I go here, it's the same thing. I can move these around, and I can select them and then move the whole thing. And so it's just this kind of front end for building these things. Plus we can go back. We have undo functionality, which is very nice. And then I can save this at some later time. If it's useful to someone, then they can use it. So let me just demonstrate kind of how someone would actually use these things. And again, I'm inviting you to imagine that there's a very rich, very deep database of concepts, and people can then go search for them and put things together as they like. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to construct for you a old syllogism from the scholastic time, right? So I'm going to search for a concept here. It's like is a. This is just a basic relationship, and I'm going to move it around a little bit, and I know what I want to make, so I'm going to label it. And this one is going to be Socrates, and this one is going to be man. So now we see Socrates is a man. Now I'm going to make another one. Is a. Now we've got it. Oops. I think I have to delete this. What I want to do is I want to import that. So now we can compose these. We can snap them into each other. Boom. Check that out. That's cool. And then we'll go like this. And then we're going to say that man is a mortal. So we have Socrates is a man, man is a mortal. Now, these are two separate concepts here. As you can see, they're on two different lines. It means we've got two ideas here. They're connected because they're connected via the idea of a man. We're using man twice. Now what we're going to do is we're going to link them into one concept we have the connector and we're just going to snap it all into place here. We snap this in, and as you can see, it has automatically parsed it. Socrates is a man and man is a mortal. We can hover like before. We can select it and move these things kind of, for aesthetics like before. And now let's complete this. So we're going to do therefore. Here we have therefore. We just imported it. We're going to snap this in. Put this here. The colors represent the level. So black is level 0, red is level 1, orange is level 2. This is a design thing. We might change this. So now the very last part is this. And then we're going to get the whole syllogism, and we can just connect it. We're going to snap these in. And we have the relational structure of a syllogism. We have automatic parsing. We can explore the actual concept by hovering on the words or by hovering on the nodes. The entire is one concept. The whole thing is here. If we hover on therefore, the whole thing will highlight because therefore is the highest level. If you broke this down into a tree structure, you'd be able to see that this is the case. Therefore is at the top of the tree. But the thing that's unique about this is that this way of parsing concepts where you have this scope and you make these graphs. This is novel, and it relies on something that I was working on in my PhD years ago when I was working on graph theory. And it is the fact that you have a connection between the actual labeled rooted tree and these graphs. These graphs, I think, are easier to read, and they're also easier to make. And that's why I think that this is something that's going to be interesting. So if you have a really, really deep lexicon of these concepts like escrow or vesting, right? You can just load them in and they're there. And then you can label the parts that you need. Like maybe you need somebody's address or somebody's actual full name or something. You can construct these very, very clear sentences, paragraphs, etc. And you know, I think the very first application for this is going to be something like legal documents, right? Because legal documents right now are an absolute mess. And I know from experience, they're written in legalese, flowery language. They're hard to understand. They're way too long. And I think that everybody here knows that we're going to be moving to more and more in the years to come a digital state. And I think that the legal substructure of society is one place where we can get really big advances as we move to a digital state and a network state. So that's the basic idea. This is what I'm trying to work on. And I wanted to present it here just because I'm just curious about everybody's feedback and see what you guys thought. So that's the thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. Yeah, you certainly left us with a lot to like chew on there. Yeah, I was going to ask you like what you thought would be the first kind of like demographic of users or the first main use cases, but I think you kind of nailed it with like legal contract drafting. Is there anything else that you could foresee being like also like in the early days for users?
So the idea that I have is I think that working with DAOs is the very first kind of like go-to-market that I'd like to do, right? Because I think that we've got tons of DAOs. They have legal needs that they don't really have a handle on, most of them. And I think we're going to have a lot more and more instances of DAOs needing just like clear boilerplate templates to kind of ease their workflow either with their members or between each other, right? So DAO contract kind of service agreements. Right. And then the next stage, like the V2 after that, is more general legal contracts and working more directly with lawyers in the real world that aren't like maybe necessarily like very like Web3 native.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's just, I mean, as you can imagine, since this is natural language, this is, you know, machine readable lexicon, you have so many applications for this. It's like nuts. But I'm just trying to like keep things well scoped for now.
Yes, which is difficult to do with a concept like this, but I think you did a really good job.
Cool,
yeah, so I guess we'll wrap it up now. Thank you, everyone. We'll come down to the mingle area now, so I'll see you guys in just a moment. See ya.